Hey everybody, thanks for joining us. And if you can hear me okay, if you don't mind, just type yes in the comments. What we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about selling your home for more money faster and getting your home ready to sell. And specifically, like what's your return on investment if you make some improvements to your home. So like, for example, if you update your kitchen and you put $25,000 into it, are you going to get that $25,000 back on the price of your home? And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. And before we get started, just want to let you know, if you're serious about selling your home or serious about buying another home, give us a call. What we would do is, whether you're interested in working with us or not, either way is cool. We'd just be happy to give you some great advice and point you in the right direction. And you can go to showcasecall.com to schedule a time for us to talk. Okay? All right, so let's get started. What we're talking about is we're talking about selling your home for more money faster. We're talking about getting your home ready to sell. And the question that we get a lot is, a lot of times people are asking us, hey, if I put $5,000 into fixing up my kitchen, am I going to get that $5,000 back? Or a lot of times people think if they put $5,000 into the kitchen, they're going to get $10,000 back, or they might put $10,000 in and they get $20,000 back. And it's not, always that way. And that's where the fear can set in sometimes for people when they're selling their house. They're really worried, am I going to spend this money and it just goes down the drain, or I'm going to spend this money and actually get something in return for it? And so that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. And if you're just joining us, if you're really serious about selling your home or buying another home, give us a call. You might want us to help you buy or sell. You may not. Either way is fine with us. We're happy to just give you some great advice and point you in the right direction. And to do that, you can go to showcasecall.com. Click a few buttons and get scheduled with us for a time to talk, if that sounds interesting to you. All right, so let's get back into it. And what we're talking about really is if you were to, let's say that you want to sell your home and you notice that a lot of the homes that are selling in your neighborhood have kitchens that have been updated or bathrooms that have been updated, or maybe there's some other types of improvements that have been made to those homes. And you're wondering, are you going to need to do those things in order to be competitive, in order to get your house sold? And is your house just going to sit there if you don't have an updated kitchen or updated bathrooms? And those are the kind of questions that we get a lot. People sometimes will think that they have to make some updates to the kitchen or the baths, or they need to put in new flooring, or they need to do landscaping. And the truth of the matter is, a lot of times those things aren't actually going to get you a dollar for dollar return on your investment. Sometimes you might put $20,000 into the kitchen and maybe you just get $20,000 back. In other words, your house is worth, let's say your house is worth $650 the way it is, and you put $20,000 into the kitchen. Well, now you're expecting that it's going to be worth, $670 or $680 or $690. It's possible that it won't even, you won't even get the money back that you put into it. It just depends on the project. It also depends on your market. It depends on what the other homes in the area are selling for. So those are some things you have to take into consideration. There's a few resources I want to give you. But before we do, just want to mention again really quick, if you're serious about buying or selling a home, give us a call. You might want us to help you with it, or you might not. Either way is fine. We're just happy to give you some great advice and point you in the right direction. And if that sounds interesting to you, you can go to showcasecall.com and schedule a time for us to talk. So those resources that I wanted to give you, before you make any major project or even a minor project, before you spend that money, it's a good idea to find out, are you just going to break even? In other words, are you going to put $10,000 into this project and then you only get $10,000 back, $10,000 more added to the value of your home? If that's the case, why would you even bother? Because if you're going to put 10 in and get 10 back, it doesn't make a lot of sense. And you're taking on the risk that your project might even, run over budget. So your $10,000 project might turn into a $13,000 or $14,000 or $15,000 project. So before you ever do anything like that, you want to use some of these resources. One resource you can use is to talk to an appraiser. And when I say talk to an appraiser, it probably means, pay for the services of an appraiser. Appraiser can give you what your value of the home is currently, and then they can also do a value that's based on estimated repairs, or estimated improvements that you're planning to make. So if you actually had a detailed project where it had like the scope of the work that's supposed to be completed, and you could provide that to the appraiser can say, hey, your house is worth this right now if you didn't do anything. Or they can say, this is your, what sometimes is called your ARV, your after repair value. They can say this would be your ARV. And so then you can take a look at the difference between the two numbers, and you can take a look at what it's going to cost you to do your project and how much of your time it's going to take. And you can figure out if it's worth it to you. If that's the only reason that you're selling, if that's the only reason you're doing that project is because you want to make your home sell faster and for more money, you want to take a look at, what's that improvement going to add to the value of your home. So an appraiser is one resource. It's going to cost you some money. Another resource would be to talk to a realtor that you've determined you can trust to actually value the property. Realtors a lot of times aren't actually trained in how to value the property, so sometimes they're good at it, sometimes they're not. But a realtor that is good at valuing a property can go in and say, yes, this is what your house is worth right now, and this is what your house would be worth if you're going to do these improvements. The same thing goes with the appraiser. You're going to need to provide that realtor with an idea of what kind of work is going to be completed so that they have an idea of what your home might look like once it's finished. And then a third resource that you can go to is just a Google cost versus value report. That's going to take you to a report that's put out every year. It's on remodeling.hw.net, but you can just Google cost versus value report. And on there, it's going to show you all these different remodeling projects, different parts of the country. And you can go through there and you can see what their research has shown these projects are going to add to the value of your home. So like, for example, on a kitchen remodel of $25,000, their research shows that you'd probably break even. You might make a couple of $1,000s, but basically if you put $25,000 into what they call I believe they call it a minor kitchen remodel, then that's probably only going to add $25,000 to the value of your home. So you spent 25 and you got 25 back, basically. They also talk about a major remodel, so like a major kitchen remodel where you're actually not just putting new doors on the cabinets, but you're replacing the cabinets altogether. You even have an island in the kitchen that you're adding or redoing. So let's say you spent $75,000, which is a pretty good bit of money. Their research shows that you'd recoup about $62,250 of that. So in other words, if you were to spend that $75,000 on your kitchen, then the value of your home would only go up $62,250. And so you're at a loss. Not to mention the inconvenience of having the contractors in the house, the inconvenience of having to go through all the bids. So anytime you're getting ready to prepare your house to sell and you're thinking about doing some kind of renovation project, what you want to do is you want to find out what it's going to cost you and then find out how much value that's going to, estimated value that's going to add to your house. And then that way you can make a good decision. And of course, you can always reach out to us. This is what we do for a living. We're always happy to help you. There's no cost or obligation to talk. And if you're serious about buying or selling, or you're getting your house ready to buy, or you're getting your house ready to sell, and you're thinking about some of these projects, get in touch with us. We'd be happy to give you some great advice and point you in the right direction. There's no cost or obligation, and we're not going to pressure you or anything like that. You can go to showcasecall.com. And while you're there, you just click a few buttons and get scheduled with us to talk. Okay, so just to kind of recap, what we were talking about is selling your home for more money faster. getting your house ready to sell so that that can happen. And when you're getting ready to sell, you might be considering some home improvement projects that can get kind of pricey, you know, $3,000, $4,000, $10,000, $20,000 or more. Maybe you're thinking of replacing the floors or doing some other things. Maybe you're thinking about remodeling the kitchens, the bath, doing some painting. Whatever it is, before you spend even one penny, what you want to do is you want to find out what that is going to cost you, and then how much that's going to increase the value of your home. That's going to be really helpful. And that's it. So again, if you're serious about buying or selling, give us a call. You might want us to help you with it. You may not. Either way is cool. We're just happy to give you some great advice and point you in the right direction. And if that sounds interesting to you, go to showcasecall.com. Click a few buttons to get scheduled with us. Okay? All right. Talk to you next time. Have an awesome day.